Please subscribe and click on the notification button so you could get our latest news. Happy listening.
Religious persecution? We stand by our position, Khan tells Sultan. The leadership of the Christian Association of Nigeria, Khan, has maintained its stand that Christians in the country have been at the receiving end of several attacks, killings, and persecution carried out by Muslim fanatics. The association, which reacted to the statement credited to Sultan of Sokoto, Halaji Abubakar, that it cried wolf, said it was painful that the Sultan would say that there was no case of Christian persecution in the country. In a statement signed by the National Director, Legal and Public Affairs, Evangelist Samuel Khan said evidence abound of the cases of attack on Christians, which led to loss of lives and property. They recount incidents where several hundreds of innocent lives were cut short by Fulani herdsmen in southern Kaduna, Benue, Plateau, Adamawa, and Taraba states. Khan said it is an insult and insensitive for anyone to be claiming that the unprecedented persecution which victims were which victims are well known did not occur. It is also an act of disrespect to the dead if those who are responsible for the genocide in the middle belts of the country were, were Fulani activists whose main interest is to protect their cattle. What stops him from condemning the unprecedented genocide? By the way, if Fulani took it upon themselves to be killing Christians the way they did in Benue, southern Kaduna, Plateau, will it will it still not be called Christians? Persecution? Do the Fulanis have the right to be killing people the way they did and are still doing in some parts of the states? Khan said it had not seen the full text of the speech by Sultan of Sokoto, and as a result, it was only reacting to what newspapers reported that he said in Kaduna. But if he truly said that Christians had not been persecuted in Nigeria simply because not all Fulanis are Muslims, then with due respect, he got it totally wrong. We respect the Sultan very much, but what he said requires response in order to put things right, it said. Khan said the Sultan was aware of several effects it made to bring its complaint to President Muhammadu Buhari over reported incidents of attack and persecution of Christians by some of their Muslim folks, which appear were not responded to. We are happy that the Sultan did not fault our claim that there was unprecedented killing in those areas. Maybe the security agency would have helped us to unmask the culprits and their religion if they had not appeared powerless while the killing lasted. It is it is reported that to date, those who killed our brothers and sisters after raping and murdering them for weeks are still at large and they are living free. On the observation made by the emir, the cases of Christian persecution in our country, we have raised it at the national level, where the leadership of both religions meets. We wonder why the Sultan too could not come to fault our position instead of using public forum. The Sultan should not pretend as if he was unaware of several times we have gone to President Muhammadu Buhari to complain about systemic and deliberate killing of our brothers and sisters and the needs for the killers to be brought to book and the killing stop, but to no avail. Can't say it that a highly respected organized and humanitarian aid, a British non-profit organization, has recorded that no fewer than 10,000 Christians were killed by the Fulani herdsmen this year alone, while about 6,000 has been killed since 2012 and 12,000 displaced. Yet none of those responsible for this atrocity have been brought to book. If those that are persecuted are not are Muslims, we would have heard of something. It said the country belongs to all Nigerians, irrespective of their religion, tribes, and political position. There should be no discrimination. We call on President Muhammadu Buhari to be fair to all Nigerians. We would stop complaining when we see a just society where the rule of law, fairness, and social justice are allowed, where the president realizes that he's the president of all. President released Sambo, Dansaki, and Omoyele Showore. We hail him despite the fact that Dansaki is a devout Muslim. We want those still languishing in detention after court grants bail to be released. People, that is what we are saying. The Sultan of Sokoto there makes a statement that there is no killing of Christians in Nigeria. How unhuman. We're talking about tens of thousands. People, family, lives lost forever. Villages displaced. And yet, someone raises his voice to say there was no such thing. It is very sad that in Nigeria, there are some people that think that they are God. But guess what? Their time is up. If they don't, if they don't desist from these wicked ways and persistent lies. He's only saying this because the US has placed Nigeria on religious intolerance watch list. And since a few days ago, this was listed, Nigeria was listed by the US. Suddenly, Buhari is saying people should not break up the country. Sultan is saying there is no killing of Christians. But every one of them have been silent. Oh, how inhuman. Because it's not happening to them. But guess what? The voice of the dead is crying out against them. And in no distance time, everyone responsible for this will be brought to book. It may look like nothing is happening, but guess what? All of a sudden, every one of them will begin to face and dance to the music they have turned on. In spite of the bad leaders and people who refuse to say the truth about what is going on in the country, there are still a few good ones and people who believe that this nation will be great again. That's why I want you to subscribe, click on the notification button. Let's get the word out there. You lending your voice and standing on the side of truth is one way to say that Nigeria will be great again for our children tomorrow and for all Nigerians. I want you to leave a comment, subscribe, and keep the subscription coming. And we will all celebrate in no distance time to one great and beautiful Nigeria. Thanks for listening and have a blessed day. Bye.